There are over 8,000 shooter games on Steam that range from FPS to action adventure to crabs? So why do game developers keep pumping this type of game out when the majority of gamers are only playing the top 10 games like CS2, COD, or Apex Legends? It's the money, of course! It's every developer's dream to capture a piece of that CS2 revenue pie, and one of these days, a new shooter will come along and do just that. In my latest intel report, I have details on a new game that is looking for their piece of the shooter pie. Their secret weapon? NFTs, of course! But will it be their downfall? It's mission time. Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here, and it seems like every month we get a new shooter launching, and while most of them only see mild success, every once in a while you'll see a game like the Finals that does things a little bit differently and captures a loyal audience. Today's game is not that game, but there is a hidden gem feature that is pretty unique and easily overlooked if you can't see 10 years into the future of gaming like you and I can. Wait, you can see it, right? Right?
Right.
Well, if not, I got you. Let's take a look at Kiraverse and dive into the good, the bad, and the hit with an ugly stick the entire way down the development cycle. Kiraverse is a third-person, free-to-play competitive shooter in open beta that focuses on fast gameplay, NFT-based avatars, and the ability to earn those NFTs through gameplay. The game is built in Unreal Engine 5 and is being developed by a new studio called Param Labs. The game offers 4 game modes in free-for-all, elimination, 1v1, and points domination. There are 10,000 Kira NFT avatars in their original collection, with 3 more NFT collections added since their original drop. Kiraverse has an upcoming free NFT drop, but details are currently undisclosed. The in-game currency is called Kirabucks, which can be earned through gameplay and then used on their marketplace to buy NFT avatars. Note, this is not a cryptocurrency-based token. All right, now that we have the basics out of the way, let's dive into the game and break it down piece by piece. I recently jumped into Kiraverse with some friends during my normal Thursday night live stream, and while I did enjoy playing, there's plenty I would love to see changed as well. First off, you need to download the standalone Param Labs launcher to play Kiraverse, as that is the only place to find the game. Right off the bat, this ticks one of my pet peeve boxes, as I always prefer to download a game on an existing launcher. I literally have PTLD at this point.
Post-traumatic launcher disorder.
I know you know, and you feel me on this. This isn't a deal breaker and I can live with it, but I would love to see it on a reputable launcher like Epic Games, even though this guy really seems to hate them for allowing NFT games, but that's okay because he hates everything. Once you get into the game, you're greeted with a pretty basic looking uninspired UI, except, wait, what is that? That's me! Remember that hidden gem feature I was talking about? Well, the team was kind enough to create an in-game avatar for me to showcase what they can do with their tech called Pixel to Poly, where you can take any 2D image and turn it into a 3D playable avatar. This tech is clearly in the early stages, but you can see by non-Kiraverse avatars, they are all from 2D NFTs that you can test out, like Bored Ape Yacht Club, MFers, and a few more. While I'm not a huge fan of the avatar art for the Kiraverse NFT collections themselves, this feature is the main unique element of this game and could be the real reason that Kiraverse even exists, to show off that tech. I mean, who doesn't want to be a drive-through burger joint mascot in a game? While it's still a little bit bulky, imagine this feature in real time. It would be insane to just upload a photo of yourself or maybe your desired avatar and then be able to instantly use it in any UE5 game. When it comes to the NFTs, I'm simply not impressed. Outside of the aesthetics, the fact that they have multiple collections spanning 3 different marketplaces in GameStop, Immutable X, and OpenSea, it makes it confusing to crypto beginners and veterans alike, not to mention your general gaming crowd. GameStop had high hopes to use gaming NFTs to bring them back to the glory days, but the now defunct GameStop marketplace is just a desolate wasteland. I'm surprised the team has not ported the NFT collection over to Immutable X, or at the very least, OpenSea. Now, jumping into some gameplay, we find that there is no matchmaking and you must browse servers to play. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. One of the biggest pain points to the game here is the server stability, as I had to restart the game multiple times while playing to get into a server that was working. Now, this game is in open beta, but this is going to turn players away immediately. Loading into a match is fairly quick once you find a stable one, and the action starts immediately. The TTK for this game is pretty low, so you kill and can be killed very quickly. They only have a few maps, but with a full lobby, I found that I was spawning right on top of other players many times and died almost instantly, even with like short respawn invincibility they have. There is still some balancing needed for map size and how many players are comfortable in a match, but despite this fact, I still found myself getting used to it and having fun learning some of the different mechanics. The map design is not bad, but just feels very generic looking and lacks a little personality. I kind of feel this way about most of the game's aesthetics actually. Shifting over to loadouts, everyone starts out with 4 guns, and while the AR has massive recoil making it hard to shoot in medium distances, I found that the SMG seemed to have the most balance. I was a little surprised that a sniper headshot did not kill, but hey, that's an age-old debate in shooters, ain't it? The gunplay is a bit clunky in a lot of respects, as is the movement in the game, and it's hard to know where hitboxes are for some of the crazier looking avatars. I had issues with reloading while swapping guns, and the jumping and dodge mechanics seemed a bit floaty. Sniping was fun when I could actually find a good spot to set up. And using your grenades is pretty meta in the game and hilarious at times too. I seem to run out of ammo often as they just don't have any pickups around the map, and it drops sparingly on kills because no one else has ammo either. One thing that kept bothering me is the default keybinds for mouse and keyboard. The dodge is on T and roll is on X. These are both vital for survival in the game, and personally, I would change them to Q and E for better gameplay by default. The game does have controller support, which is great, but why would you play on a controller when you have a PC? Proc chat is on by default, so there is a lot of chatter in game, and that leads to more tea bags being slung around in your face than at the Boston Tea Party. While Kiraverse is a beta game in active development, they still have a lot of polish work to do here to make the game feel like it's not just another UE5 Lyra clone, even if it isn't. The main redeeming factor here is their pixel to poly technology, which could be a really cool interoperability plugin for Unreal Engine if it gets a little more polish. A lot of the features they boast about, like earning and buying in the store, are just not even available yet, which is disappointing. I do love the reckless abandon style high octane gameplay, and with some quality of life adjustments, the game could feel better to play overall. Do I think this is the next big shooter? No. I think this is a game that is a decent showcase for their pixel to poly tech, and I would love to see them lean more into that and label the game as such. If you want to be the next big shooter, you need to have a unique selling point. And while the pixel to poly tech certainly fits the bill, it's still not in a state that will impress anyone outside of Web3 native. Alright agents, that wraps it up for this Intel report on Kiraverse. Let me know what you think about the game in the comments below, and as always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.
Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash.